Alright, so it's time for a video here, and I just want to pick off where I left off in my last videos, explaining the modus operandi in the global social engineering experiment. I explained exactly what they would do when I was going to be at these temp jobs, and they have been following that modus operandi to the letter. And first, as I have explained many times, using synthetic telepathy, this real-time communication system, not only communicating to people what they should do and what they should not do, these real-time instructions that people are being given constantly, but also using the very same communication system to electronically harass people. Typically this homoerotic chicanery, blaming me for everything that they are communicating towards anybody and everybody, saying this is what I'm thinking, or this is what I'm feeling, or fantasizing about towards anybody and everybody in my vicinity all the time. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, who believes this bullshit? But nevertheless, this is what they do, and if not, they pick on people, find faults, and then make a whole psychological warfare campaign about it, and obviously pushing everybody against me. Once they have people pliable, they have been subjected to this kind of chicanery and harassment for a while, then they start turning these people against me. It doesn't take many days at all, and then they have these people in the palm of the hand. They can tell them what to do, and they will do it. Everything that they basically say to me is something that they are being told to say to me. That is how micromanaged the whole situation quickly becomes, and obviously then they try to bully me, or they try to ridicule me, and nobody's really getting away with any of that to my face. So they're finding all kinds of methods to do it, speaking over the radio when I'm not in the forklift, so I can't hear what's being said over the radio, but I can hear something going on, you know. All of these indirect gaslighting things that they typically do, we know this from all types of gang stalking stories, as well as targeted individuals who's been out in workplace harassment and what have you, using all of these psychological techniques or methods, whatever you want to call it. And they're literally been trying to push me out of the temp job that I have been out a few months without success. And I in the beginning, it was so blatant. I went to HR and I said they're literally trying to push me out, and that's despite in the beginning I asked one of the foremen if they really wanted me there or not, because I could sense that they didn't really want me there. So before we even began, I gave them an opportunity to say no, this is not working out, but they wanted me there, so it continued and it continued. And now that they have found in so many things that they try to do, all of these psychological campaigns, they literally started sabotaging my work, blaming me or accusing me of things that I hadn't done, or faults that wasn't mine, or making something like a small dent in this little fence, making it into a huge problem that they wanted to make a spectacle out of. Or yesterday, when I was stacking these things in the forklift, and when I wasn't there, someone probably went over there and knocked it over, only so when I came back and I said over the radio something had fallen over, everybody was blaming me for it, despite me not even being in the vicinity when it happened. And it was on surveillance camera. Obviously I don't have access to the firm's surveillance, but I bet you that it was no accident. And when I started cleaning it up, for example, even though it wasn't my fault, and I obviously knew what the time was, what they were doing, I started picking it up with the forklift and putting it back on the factory line, and the guy there wouldn't even receive the wood. So everything just had to be left there for this morning when everybody went to work, so that they can point to this. Look, he's knocked something over again, or whatever they were saying. I'll show a few videos here, so it's like blatantly obvious what is going on. So obviously I came home last night in the middle of the night, and I just wrote up a resignation. and I woke and of course I've been subjected to sleep deprivation, so I haven't really slept much. And they got the hump over me resigning before they could fire me, because, as I say, they didn't want to fire me just to fire me for me to be able to get a new job. They wanted something to happen so that they could help the social engineers prevent me from getting a job in the future. That's what it's all about. It's not about just having me fired or me quitting or them resigning me as under normal circumstances, because that won't lead to any lasting result. They want something has to happen so that they can use it against me. And of course, all of this is being made into this spectacular story, and it's literally being broadcasted all over Denmark this morning. And obviously I circumvented what they were trying to accomplish by acting the way I did, standing my ground from day one, and doing it kind of strategically, and dotting my I's and crossing my T's by going to HR, and then being able to resign on the ground that I had already brought up. And so even though they wanted to fire me after I had resigned, they couldn't really do it because everything is in writing. So this is how this temp job ended, and it's ridiculous when you look at everything from a distance objectively. But we have intelligence agencies in the state of Denmark literally continuously coercing people and creating incitement for everybody to be against me, and continuously justifying it based on completely fabricated allegations that they never wish to even question me for, but they are just continuously using as a propaganda justification.